Time to check out your latest underground albums on Bandcamp. We're going to start things off with Askel and Cycle of Ruin. We got here out of Finland. Oh boy, we got like big doom. Is this going to be like big primitive man style doom? That's the vibe I'm getting so far. Yeah. Similar vibes. Gnarly. Good production too. Drums sound great. Yeah, Askel, let me know, are you Primitive Man fans? Down-tempo noise, they call it. Yeah, these guitars are very much in line with that. And similarly, I like how they're kind of weaving this very like menacing melody into the otherwise cavernous black hole. A little kind of sludgier with the vocals. But I mean, there's only one Ethan McCarthy, okay? Dude has like the deepest death growl of all time, I feel like. And a sweet dude, too. You can check out my interview from back in the day with him. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick. Like, kind of mix, like, Primitive Man with elements of, like, Ken Mode. Yeah, just super, like, devastation. Just devastating music. Like the soundtrack to a complete mental collapse. And as always, if you're new here too, you know, we just sample these things. The whole idea is to get you excited enough to go check out things on your own. But yeah, strong start with Askel, Cycles of Ruin. All right, then we have Aortes with Lifeless out of Lithuania. Oh, going complete opposite end of the spectrum, it sounds like. It's a little bit more chill, at least for this part. I do see post-metal over here in the information. A different kind of sadness here. Less angry sad. Those vocals are pretty cutting though. Love the drumming, very kinetic. Reminds me a little bit of like Bossa de Naga. That just almost like freeform, kind of like jazzy whiplash style drumming with the slower kind of post-metal arrangement is kind of interesting. Oh, and this is just a single too, by the way. They do have more stuff, it looks like, from like 2023. But again, just giving you a sample, giving you a taste to check this out. Yeah, I like it. Sounds good. There's this kind of subtle, like, eerie bass line, too, I'm pretty sure, in the background. That's kind of neat. Like the use of the kind of backing synth elements. Very cool. Aortes, Lifeless. Alright, then we have ufoufoufo back again with Joyboy. And weird and noisy again. Dog Scientist. Ooh. Chaotic. And I'm glad I asked, because I had been calling this like ufoufoufo. But it's just, I mean, it should have been obvious looking at this. It's UFO. Okay, we have like Rocket Raccoon here. Very mathcore, math rock. But a little bit even more like avant-garde than that. Oh, it's even right here. Pronounced UFO. Yeah, always weird, this project. This is now the second or third release I think we covered from them. Santa Monica, California. just pure chaos. Just the way I like it. And unpredictable, too. Almost more importantly, I would say. I'm kind of curious about your songwriting process, too. Like, how planned out are these things? Like, it almost feels improvisational at times. What? It's like a late 80s, early 90s hip-hop break. But definitely puts a smile on my face. Crazy stuff. Yeah, y'all, if you like weird, check out UFO. Then we have Kollapse with AR out of Denmark. This is another kind of noise band. I have listened to a bit of this for this month. But there's just been so much that I don't think it's going to get on sort of the main list, so to speak. And then the band reached out to me direct with it as well, after I'd already gotten it from the label. So I figure I at least share it on here, because there's a lot of stuff I like about it. Again, very much recommended for fans of like Ken Mode, Daughters, Swans. I know what else I have in the tags. Another one that kind of like keeps you on your toes too, because it doesn't always go where you'd expect it to, I feel like. It's my recollection. A lot of very like churning guitar work and that rumbly bass. The production's awesome. Love the cover art. The sound of the drums too. It's very well produced, well mixed. Yeah, and then it also goes into these kind of more kind of quiet, almost post-hardcore sounding elements. So they get, I'd say at times they get a bit more melodic than any of those bands that I mentioned. Pretty unique too, like just, yeah, something different. But like I said, there's just like so much music I've been listening to lately. Not everything can make that top 20. But yeah. You noise fans out there, you're gonna love this, so definitely check out Kollapse with AR. I don't really have any critique for it. Honestly, all of them so far have been great. Then we have Pagan with Acolytes out of Brooklyn, New York. Where we going here? Kind of crusty black metal. I mean death metal. My bad. Just 3 tracks. I was saying too, the phlegmier vocals kind of remind me of Enslaved a bit. I draw some comparisons to like earlier Enslaved, like kind of like Frost and that kind of era. I'm not a huge fan of how the vocals are punctuated like right with where the guitar is punctuated. I've never been a big fan of that style. Like I feel like the guitar should be doing one thing, the vocals should be doing something else. When it's all like the same, it's, I don't know. So that would be my critique on that one. But I like the overall vibe. It's definitely got that very kind of classic, more of like a 90s sound. Not like the super lo-fi stuff, but plenty of stuff I came across on both my black metal lists and the death metal list currently that remind me of this. Maybe a little bit of stuff like Belphegor too. comes to mind. Oh, and I should say, the label Stygian Black is out of Brooklyn, New York. I'm actually not sure where the band is from. Or Stygian Blackhand, I should say. What is black metal? Turkish black. They're Turkish, okay. Now, all you gotta do is read a little bit. Sometimes I'm lazy. But yeah, that is Pagan with Acolytes. Then we have Warfield Within with Pure Purge out of Germany. We're going Death Thrash. Solid riffage. Okay. Oh, and I was just going to say, have we covered these guys before? I'm pretty sure we covered Beast Inside a while back. So good to hear a return here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this particular area of Germany they're from. Or should I? With my years back college German. Mönchengladbach. Something like that. Music sounds pretty good. Mix is a little treble heavy. I feel like you could play with that a little bit more, but it's not bad. That drumming is relentless. Super aggressive. Love the speed. I mean, generally, this is how I like my thrash. Like, the heavier and the faster, the better. There's the boys. Oh, love the shirts here. Sepultura, Cranium, Carcass, Napalm Death, and Hatebreed. Nice selection there. It's almost like you're trying to, like, show as many of your broader influences as possible. I feel like I can hear a little bit of all of them in here, too. Like, even that groove there, it's very kind of Hatebreed, hardcore style. Really like that snare tone. Yeah, and emphasis on the death metal here, too. Yeah, sounds wicked. Another solid entry this week. Good stuff. And they need more thrash, too, so by all means. Warfield Within, Pure Purge. Alright, we have Puritan Opiate with Your Worries Shall Spiral Outward Forever. One of 2 EPs they put out so far this year, it looks like. We're going to focus on this one for the sake of time. It's out of Massachusetts from an English professor. Oh, another weird one here, it sounds like. Much louder than the other ones in my headphones, too. It's kind of deafening. I'm going to have to probably turn this down in post. Are we instrumental? Let's see. Ambient, atmospheric, black metal, experimental, instrumental. Yeah, lo-fi. So something a little different here. Very chaotic. Different vibes too. This is more kind of like classic second wave black metal sound there. Then there's an interesting layering of the different things too. It almost sounds like they're layering like different songs on top of each other. Especially with headphones too. Like there's that voice is like just in my right ear right now, and it's kind of unsettling. Yeah, definitely some like mood music here. Could see this in honestly like a survival horror game too. This one's a little... The mix on each of them is a little bit different too, which is always kind of interesting. Drums a bit more buried there. Yeah, and then this one's like super lo-fi. Interesting. But yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, check out Puritan Opiate. Your worries shall spiral outward forever. Then we have Black Pastel with the black rose shedding petals. Am I wrong in thinking it should be Petals? Petals? If we're talking about flowers. Or maybe it's a play on words here. Interesting atmosphere and cover art. I really like the juxtaposition of this crazy kind of black metal-y logo with this more pretty picture here. Yeah, more black metal. You do not oora da and dop oora dot, and I don't know what this is. Some weird stuff in here. Interesting. Yeah, the music's kind of like that too, where like this juxtaposition of this really ugly traditional black metal sound with these more kind of like blissful kind of shoegaze elements. I mean, in a way, this is almost the most pure kind of like black gaze I've ever heard, because it's like, it's just like a different way to combine them. And this is a little bit more traditional too. Yeah, this is like, that's like pure 92 black metal right there. How about that? Yeah, those softer elements coming in again. Very interesting. I approve. It's a different take on the usual formula. And I do feel like the black gaze bubble kind of burst. That's not to say there aren't still like good black gaze albums coming out, but I just feel like the kind of hype for it has died down. But I'd love to see y'all push this one out there, because again, it's just something a little bit different on that front. And I feel like it's a very like tenuous balance you're striking here, but you're doing it very successfully. Yeah, very cool. Black Pastel, the black rose shedding petals. Then we have Kulac with Veil of God, Texas. It's like another solo project potentially. Cool cover. There's just something about a good cover with a face that's distorted or deformed in some way. Always works for me. I see you actually have a couple variations of the same concept here. It's a different, like different versions here, because we've got Veil of God, Underneath the Veil, and Underneath the Veil of God. Interesting. A lot of, would this be considered like chamber music? Black metal, progressive metal, choral, ambient. There's another black metal project that's really only like kind of black metal in name. It's mainly just classical music, but it's all composed kind of in the style of like something like Emperor, but it doesn't have all the guitars and blackened vocals. I think they've added some of that more recently, but this reminds me of that a little bit. Yeah, a lot of ambient stuff here. Interesting. When I saw this cover, and it's kind of been sitting in my box for a while, because I know the band, person over here, I assume it was them who sent it. That was a couple months ago, I want to say, but it's just coming out now. Yeah, definitely another unique one, which is another thing I love about this segment, finding weirder stuff. I'm kind of curious now about these like variations here, like what's going on with this. These almost like remixes, kind of. And then there's more like kind of gent elements added on this one, it sounds like. Huh. And then this one. And then it's just like just the gent elements. Very interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued at the process here. It's almost like you've got like two albums combined or something. But yeah, that is Kulac with Veil of God. Then we have Soulvapor with Inner Soul. Spiritual metal music of the soul. So. With some deathcore kind of vibes here. Some clean singing too. Progressive metal, metalcore. Okay. Sounds like a little bit of like old new metal kind of vibes in those clean vocals too. Oh yeah, then this kind of similar vibe as Grayscale Season, which just dropped a new album as I'm recording this. Yeah, very kind of nostalgic vibes on this one. Yeah, there's something about those clean vocals that's a little bit of Linkin Park in there too, maybe. But also I'm thinking of more like obscure stuff from that time too. The more like B-string new metal bands, but then again mixed with this more genty metalcore style. Cool guitar work. I kind of like it. Like the guitar work's still a little bit kind of binary, but there are glimmers I'm hearing of these more melodic parts. But the kind of like, I'm so kind of over this, like that's been done so much. But I like these more kind of like woodly-woo parts, like, down for that. But the vocals bring something different to it, so it helps it stand out in a genre that's been kind of played. Yeah, like this part here. It's pretty cool. You get heavy too. Yeah, sounds interesting. Soulvapor, Inner Soul. Then we have Clarity Vision with Clarity Vision out of Moscow, Russia. Stoner metal and 70s doom, so definitely hearing that classic vibe for sure. Oh, we got the psychedelic guitar effects too. Female vocalist too. Liking the sound so far. Here we go. Good voice. I'll tell you, bands like this are extremely hit and miss for me. Like, I've heard a lot of... Frankly, like, I love female vocalists, but for some reason, female doom vocalists, like, they either do it for me or they do not. I've heard a lot that do not, but this sounds really good. In a weird way, I was just for a minute there getting like some like Jefferson Airplane vibes. Again, stoner doom, especially not particularly my favorite thing, but I mean, as far as like if that's the sound you're going for, I think you're nailing it. Gets me bobbing my head. I think the vocals are strong. Good infectious rhythms. And kind of cool to hear this coming out of Moscow. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard a stoner doom band out of Russia. But yeah, that is Clarity Vision with Clarity Vision. And then we have Discernment with To Leave out of Italy. Prog-oriented metal projects. Solid guitar work. Oh, Opethy. Getting some Opeth vibes, even though that logo is much more kind of like Apogean, kind of like modern tech death logo. But the overall atmosphere I'm getting here, you have to be an Opeth fan. There's no way you're not. Yeah, if you're watching, you gotta let me know. Oh, also, it's not Discernment. It's Discernment? Oh no, it is Discernment. It's spelled differently here. Is that a mistake? It's Discernment over here. It's Discernment over here. You might want to fix that. Yeah, logo says Discernment, so something to easy fix there. But yeah, you must be an Opeth fan. I'm hearing a lot of that. Okay, but then there is some more kind of modern techie stuff happening here. What kind of vocals here? This is almost more like I don't know. Almost more like Voivod kind of vocals. Oh, and then we got violin. Okay, this one takes you on a ride, I can already tell. A bunch of longer songs here too. Which is fine because it's prog. Like, that works. The more traditional death metal vocals here. Oh, okay. Yeah, and this song doesn't feel like Opeth at all, so kind of a little bit of everything here. Yeah, this could be a really interesting start to finish listen. This one's a little slower too. Very interesting. Okay. That is Discernment with To Leave. Alright, well, that's plenty for this one, and just check out the playlist if you want more. There's tons more of these, and again, if you're new here, subscribe. I put out videos at least twice a week, generally, on all sorts of stuff. Underground, mainstream, all different metal genres, sometimes even rock, too. So yeah, stick around, and I will see you in the trenches.